Dear learners, let us discuss some of the significant aspects of the process of research: sample, sampling, and types of sample. As we all know, sampling is one of the significant components of research process. The study of the whole participants, that is universe, is not always possible in research. Is it possible and feasible? Why? Because gathering of data from the totality is not always possible. Similarly, inaccessibility is another cause. Time is also a constraint. Lack of resources, lack of supporting staff, and financial aspects are also some of the issues. Yes, the study of the universe is not practically possible. That is why we need to study a representative part of the universe, that is sample. Sample is a representative part of the population. The process of sample selection is called sampling. Sampling is a method or technique consists of selection of a representative group for the study. Do you know what are the characteristics of sampling? Sample is a representative part of the whole. It's a real segment of the totality. It's a finest depiction of what universe is. It's a finest depiction of what universe is. Sample demonstrates almost all the qualities of universe. Let us reflect on sampling in another way. Do we eat a cake fully for experiencing its taste? No. Do we taste the entire rice to know whether the full of rice is cooked or not? Yes. A significant representative part will do the job. It is called sample. Yes, sample is a real representation of the population following its qualities. Sample can be called as a miniature form of universe. How do we select sample from a given universe? There are some of the bases. One is nature of the study. Similarly, nature of the group. We have to take into account the time availability, statistical assumptions, and moreover the objectives of the study. Now let us learn different types of sampling methods. There are two broad categories of sampling: probability sampling and non-probability sampling. Probability sampling is a sampling technique in which the subjects of a universe get an equal chance to be selected as representation. It is known as random sampling. Here the selection is purely on random basis. Opportunity of selection is fixed and known. It is used in conclusive researches. Probability sampling is unbiased and it has statistical strengths too. It is an objective form of sampling. Let us have the forms of probability sampling. First one is simple random sampling. Generally, the researcher makes a list of participants, that is sampling frame, in order to draw sample using simple random technique. Here the researcher selects sample using lottery method generally. Another method is systematic sampling. The researcher draws sample using a random number format. That is, considering the size, the researcher selects every nth subject as his participants. Stratified sampling. For making the sample clear and giving weightage to different factors of population, researcher may divide the whole into different strata and accordingly draw sample using any form of sampling method. Stratified sampling. For making the sample clear and for giving weightage to different factors, the researcher divides the whole into strata and draws sample accordingly. Cluster sampling. If the geographical area is very vast, we may not be able to collect the data using simple form of random sampling. Then we delimit the area under the technique cluster sampling. Without compromising the random nature of selection, dividing the entire area into different clusters and choose fixed number of clusters randomly. The condition is that all the members of the cluster have to be taken as sample for the study. Now let us go for non-probability method of sampling. It's a method wherein it is not known that which individual from the population will be selected as sample. It is non-random technique of sampling. The researcher draws sample arbitrarily. It is a biased form of sampling, and it is considered as subjective form of sampling. Types of non-probability sampling. First one is convenience sampling. To fulfill a purpose, the researcher selects a sample as per his or her convenience. Purposive sampling. The researcher chooses a sample based on the knowledge about the universe. It is based on the purpose of the study. Quota sampling. Selecting a sample either purposively or using convenient sampling method, but due importance will be given to the groups or sections of the universe. It is a non-scientific form of stratified sampling method. Snowball sampling. Here the research participants recruit the other participants of the study. Participants are better known about the other participants of the study. I hope that you got a clarity regarding sampling and different forms of sampling. We have learned sample and its characteristics, techniques of sampling, and different types of sampling.